shyly, "Excuse me, sir. But, are you the famous private detective, Hercule Poirot?" Poirot, his vanity piqued, confirmed that he was. "Why do you ask, my friend?" The young man, whose name was Ted Williamson, then poured out his story. It seemed Poirot's sudden, unexpected arrival felt like fate. He needed help. A young lady, he confessed, had disappeared. Poirot initially suggested the police, but Ted insisted the matter was private. Intrigued, Poirot invited him to sit down. Ted explained that a while back, he was called to fix a radio at a place called the Garcelon Club. There, he met a maid named Valletta. She was the companion to a famous Russian dancer. Ted thought she was French, with a charming accent and perfect English. They became friends quickly. They went to the cinema, they took walks by the river. And Ted, the simple, handsome mechanic, fell hopelessly in love with her. He loved her golden hair and her sweet voice. She promised to meet him again, but she never showed up. When he went back to the club to find her, he was told she'd been dismissed. Another maid had taken her place. Ted was heartbroken but determined. He tried to find Valletta. He sent letters, but they were all returned to him. He was at a complete dead end. That's why he was now begging Poirot for help. He told Poirot, with tears in his eyes, that he wanted to marry her, no matter what trouble she was in. Poirot, moved by the young man's genuine passion, decided to take the case. The mystery of the missing maid was far more interesting than waiting for his car to be repaired. His investigation first led him to London. There, he discovered that a young woman matching Valletta's description had indeed left the club, with records showing she had traveled to Italy. Poirot's journey took him to Pisa. In the quiet, solemn grounds of the Campo Santo cemetery, his search came to a grim halt. He stood before a modest, recent grave. The name on it was not Valletta, but Giunta, or perhaps Bianca. He spoke with the grieving family, who confirmed their daughter, the young lady's companion, had died unexpectedly after an operation for appendicitis. The description matched Valletta perfectly. It seemed the case was tragically closed, but something didn't sit right with Hercule Poirot. The little gray cells were not satisfied. The story was too neat, too simple. Was it really the end? He felt a pull, a doubt he couldn't shake. So he continued his investigation, this time following the trail of Valletta's employer, the famous Russian dancer, Katerina Samashenka. His search led him high into the Swiss Alps, to a secluded mountain chalet. There, he found Katerina, not performing on a grand stage, but gravely ill, a shadow of her glamorous self. Poirot confronted her gently. He laid out the facts, but then he presented his own theory. He revealed that he knew the truth. There was no need of Valletta, not in the way Ted Williamson knew her. The woman Ted had met, the woman he had fallen in love with during those few precious hours, was Katerina herself. During a brief period of loneliness, illness, and despair, the world-famous dancer had disguised herself, taking on the persona of her own maid. She had borrowed a few hours of normal, simple happiness with an innocent young man who saw her not as a star, but as a woman. The real maid, whose name was Giunta, was the one who had tragically died in Italy. Katerina had used her companion's identity to live out a fleeting fantasy. As Katerina lay there, weak and defeated, Poirot did not just accuse her. He urged her to live. He told her there was a life for her beyond the stage, a life of genuine happiness, not borrowed moments. He spoke of a simple life, perhaps even marriage. Katerina dismissed